What's going on, everybody? Eric Barassa here, and today I want to teach you how to play The Rock Show by Blink-182. I was working with a student earlier this week, and it's a song she requested, and I'd never taught it before. So I decided to look up the tabs on Ultimate Guitar. Usually I like to figure out these songs by ear, but I was in a time crunch, so I said, let's just look up the song and see what it's like. And as we were going through it, the best version they had several errors in it. Not actually things wrong with the notes. All the notes and the chords were correct, but the timing, how many times you're supposed to hit each chord, and how you're supposed to play the riff, all of that was a bit confusing based on the tab. So we had to edit it as we went, and I ended up just recording my own version of it and typing up my own version. First of all, I'm using my Fender MIM Strat from 97 or 98. I put in a Seymour Duncan Invader so I could get closer to that Tom DeLonge sound. I've had this pickup for like 15 years, and I'm running through my Carl Martin Greg Howe's lick box. That's my distortion, and that's going into my Friedman Runt 20. For the most authentic Tom DeLonge sound, it would have run through my Mesa, but it doesn't go directly into the computer. I got to mic it up. It's a whole thing, so it's easier to just go through the Friedman. Anyway, let's get into that main riff. Okay, so what's happening is, to the best of my ear knowledge, what I'm hearing is 4 open A's going down, up, and then 7 on the 5th string, and I recommend using the pinky, but really, let's use the ring finger. That'd be easier. And then we do an open in between that to 5, and then another upstroke open to 4-5-4-0. So I would play that 7th fret the second time through with the pinky. That's the only variation you have. Going into the verse, we just palm mute an A5 power chord at the 5th fret of string 6. So we got index going flat across all the strings, but only the tip is pushing down on the note A on the 5th fret of string 6. Then we've got our ring finger curled up, only touching the 7th fret of the 5th string, and then our pinky is curled up, or actually your pinky's going to lay kind of flat and only and be fretting the 7th fret of the 4th string. So when I strum all the strings, you don't hear the highest 3 strings because of the muting of my pinky, but even if my pinky wasn't there, the index is acting as a double mute. That's very important. Now let's talk about the technique of palm muting. You're going to lay your fretting hand flat across where the bridge meets the strings. And that's the sound you get. If you're too far forward, if you're too far back, you got to be right on the money. Your palm has to be touching the strings and the bridge. Now, this song is kind of fast, so I do recommend practicing endurance with the picking hand. I struggle with it on this song actually a little bit. Just go as fast as you can, palm muting an A5 power chord for as long as you can until your hand gives out and you start to feel that burning here in the forearm pretty crazy like this. And over time, you'll feel yourself, it's burning! And then rest, and then do another couple of sets after that. You do that every day, really build up that forearm muscle right there. So the verse is just A5, D5, and E5. You're going to do one strum of the A5 before doing a whole bunch of palm muted strums. I would count it like this. 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, and 2, and 3, and 4. Okay? So 1, and then the palm muting starts on 2 and 3 and 4 and, so that's 6 hits. And then one more measure, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and of palm muted hits. So that's another 8. So 6 plus 8 is 14. So you have one regular strum of A5 and then 14 palm muted strums. I would not count it that way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I would count it like measures. 1, 2, and 3, and 4. And then same thing for D5 and E5, but they only each get one measure. 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4. Then we go back after 2 times through the verse. We play the riff again 2 more times. Then we do the verse again 2 more times. And then we get to the chorus. The chorus is just A5, F sharp 5, D5. I like it so. Easy way to start 3 hits of the A5, 1 hit of the F sharp 5, 1 hit of the D5. But we need to get a little bit of momentum going. So I always recommend connecting fast chords with like a down up in between. So what we're actually going to do is this. Okay, so what's happening is I'm hitting the A5 3 times. And then I'm doing a down up. The down, I'm still holding down the A5, but on the up, I'm hitting the open strings, and that's my transition. And then same thing on the A5. Really spend time practicing connecting those power chords with those opens in between. It doesn't sound very good at a slow speed, but when you play it up to speed, nobody really hears the opens. They just hear that percussive rhythm, and it's really, really important. And you'll hear that difference between amateur players and the pro players. Okay, so after the chorus, we're going to just do palm muted hits from E5 to D5, 8 palm muted hits for each one. Try to do it with all downstrokes, but if your endurance gives out, then do down up. And then at the very end, we do a D5 power chord, single hit, and then rest, and then drop your index finger down 1 fret to make this modified power chord that Tom DeLonge started doing all the time around the take off your pants and jacket era. And really what it is, some people will notate it as like a D5 over C sharp. It's really an A chord in first inversion with no fifth. So you've got the third of an A chord and then the root or the octave of it. So it's a really cool trick that you can use. Play a power chord, drop the index finger down 1 fret. That's a neat sound, and it's something Tom DeLonge does all the time. Now, I would recommend when you do this power chord, don't do the 3-finger version of the power chord because it makes it tricky to get to that 1 finger down. Just do a 2-note power chord and then slide that index finger down. It's easier and nobody's going to hear the difference. Okay, then we do another round of intro, verse, chorus, and then we're at the bridge. Where Tom is simply holding down the 2nd fret on strings 2 and 3. You can either bar it or you can hold it with 2 different fingers. You're just going to let these notes ring together. It's played with a clean tone, I believe. On the recording, I played it with distortion. I'll just have my volume at half mast here, and we're going to go. So these 2 fingers never move, and you're just going to add that ring finger to grab that 3rd fret. And you can do all of that with downstrokes. The second time through, the power chords come in, and it's just down and up over and over again. And it's F sharp 5, D5, A5, and E5. Thank you, Scam Likely. So great to hear from you. All right, and then we're back for another round of chorus and then back to the intro, and those are all the parts to the song. All right, you guys, so that's it. Let me know, what did you think? Was this helpful? If you would like the PDF of this, just email me, eric@fortworthmusicacademy.com. If you are looking for lessons in the Fort Worth area in person, you can check out fortworthmusicacademy.com. If you live anywhere in the world and you would like to take lessons online through the Zooms, you can also check out fortworthmusicacademy.com. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and stay tuned for more blink-182 guitar lessons, as well as stuff from the 90s that I grew up with. I think we got some Vanessa Carlton coming up pretty soon, and some more punk rock and shred guitar shenanigans. And as my great Aunt Thea always says, it's not a rock show till it's the Dallas Guitar Show.